Hey there folks, and welcome ye all to this Christmassy vlog of mine. Last year's Christmassy vlog was a little bit more spectacular, I guess. I'd gone round... I'd been in Edinburgh for quite some time. At that point I'd sort of moved there in March, and this was my first Christmas there, and my only Christmas as it turned out. So I'd kind of gone wandering around the streets and filming and talking to myself on camera around the Christmas market, all these sorts of things. So it was a little bit more extravagant than this one, I suppose. But, you know, it's just a Christmas thing, a time to share, and a time to talk about Christmas a little bit, maybe the year that's gone by, and other things gaming-wise, which we'll get onto in a little bit. So this, I mean, I get this year, really, it's been, in a lot of respects, I kind of just want this year to be over. Because anyone following the vlogs, anyone following me knows the losses that I've had this year. And it just felt like there was one thing after another. You know, my aunt passing away at the beginning of the year. We lost my mum after her long 4-year battle with cancer in September. And then I lost one of my closest friends to cancer again just a month or so ago. So it's been, from that respect, a very shit year. And there's not really much, well, there's not any happiness to take from that, other than the kindness that was shown to my mum in the hospice, or, you know, her level of dignity and the way that she saw things out, and all these sorts of things which will stay with me forever. You know, like seeing acts of kindness, like when my mum was in the hospice, like, it's very easy to say, well, they're hospice nurses and that's what they do. But there's doing your job, and then there's just being a human being and showing love and caring and kindness on top of what your job should be. Now, I get a lot of people in these sorts of jobs are those sorts of people anyway, but some just kind of shine above others with their natural instinct to just be kind to someone. And I remember specifically going in and my mum telling me that she was having a particularly bad day in the hospice. This was quite near the end, and one of the nurses had come in to just provide her with some water and a few bits and bobs and stuff, and she could see that my mum was really struggling, you know, and it was like it was just one of those really bad days for her. And she went over to my mum at the side of the bed, and she just stroked her hair a little bit, and she kissed her on the forehead, and just, you know, she didn't have to do that. You know, that was a natural instinct within her to show some form of kindness within the great work she was doing already. And it's little things like that. I mean, that's kind of an extreme measure of it, I suppose, as to the sort of kindness in that sort of environment that's being shown. But we can all show kindness, and this is my Christmas message, if I can pass anything on for this year, because sometimes it's just the smaller acts of kindness in everyday life, which it dawned on me yesterday when I went up, and I'm going to get to talking about the Twitch channel in a little bit, because you'll have seen in the header that I am going to be twitching. But as part of that, when I do this sort of stuff and my YouTubey stuff, the laptop that records everything has to be away from me, just through the logistics of the room and what I had at the time. So I couldn't sit in the big sort of gaming beanbag and watch what was happening on a stream, or, you know, or have things right next to me like they are now. And so last night I kind of looked up on Argos, like, I knew I just wanted, there was 2 units I had. One was either side of the couch, and they were both little square units, and I just wanted a double version of it so that I could fit the laptop onto it, as well as some other bits that I have here, and for it to be comfortable to view it on the beanbag and be able to do stuff and see things popping up and interactions and all that sort of thing. So I went up to Argos last night about 7 o'clock. So I'll wait for the rush hour traffic to go. I'd already pre-booked this stuff online, so I got a little square one for over there, because the 2 that I had were black, everything in the room's pine, blah. So I thought, I'm going to get the double one in pine, I might as well just match it. So I sorted all that out, and I'm now all set up with things, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But as I was in Argos, and I approached the desk, and I could see, you know, the girl was being dead friendly, but I could see that it had been a long day. You know, she was like, you could wait. I mean, this was like, this shut at 8 and this was about 7:15 or 7:30, something like that. So I was just dead nice, and you know, I said, oh, you know, you're nearly there, it's nearly 8 o'clock, it's nearly home time. And she was like, you know, chatting away to her. But she came back with this, she just sort of said, you know, she goes, if everyone was as friendly and nice as you, it wouldn't be so bad. It was just you know, it was a nice comment, you know, she wasn't having to dig at anyone, she was just like, you know, and I was quite touched by it. But I'm always that way inclined when I go and speak to anyone in a shop. I mean, I used to work in shops, and I know what it's like, and I know what dealing with the public's like. And I've never been able to wrap my head around people who tend to just be really, like, aggressive. For some reason, you know, like, walking in with an aggressive manner is going to get you somewhere, and it really isn't, you know. It does nothing but hinder the entire process. So it was just another reminder of the fact that kindness costs nothing at all. You know, in last year's vlog, I mean, I didn't film it or anything, that, you know, these particular moments, but I talked in my vlog, and I got quite emotional last year when I talked about it, about the 2 homeless girls that were on the main street in Edinburgh, and I'd gone and got one of them a meal, and it wasn't something I did because I wanted to mention it in a vlog or anything like that. It was just because I was out and I saw it, and I just wanted to do something around all this happiness of people running around and buying stuff, and there's these, you know, there was more people than that on the street, but I just felt like, you know, I'd spotted 2 girls on the street with everybody else, and I thought I'll help at least the most vulnerable out of the people that were there. And I sat and I chatted to them, and I offered my phone if they wanted to call somebody and stuff. So it was just, you know, that act of treating someone like a human being, not like, you know, anything other than that. And I think it was irrelevant of what I gave them that day, whether it was a little bit of money or a meal. It was more the fact that I knelt down and sat down and spoke to them just like a person. And the same goes, although it's a less extreme measure, that when you're dealing with anybody in life, just be kind, just be nice, just be nice, people. It doesn't cost anything, you know, like, walking in with an angry attitude to any situation is never going to help you, ever. I mean, it's okay to get, you know, a little bit stern or whatever if things aren't going your way, or someone else is being particularly difficult. And I'll tell you, it doesn't matter in any given situation, if 2 people are in an angry frame of mind, that's never going to end well. And I'm always the person that backs up a little bit, doesn't give in, just calms the situation down. It's very rare for me to get, you know, up to 90 about stuff. So I'm always the one that just says, calm down, let's talk it through, let's, you know. But that aside, I mean, it's just, you know, just be kind and nice, and, you know, it costs nothing. You know, like, why people can't be more kind to each other in everyday life is always a mystery to me. You know, we all frustrate each other to some degree, but, you know. So there you are, so let us all just be kinder to each other. Everyday life, people, you know. We all have frustrating days. Just breathe in, count to 3. And if you see someone having a hard time of it, or you think they're having a hard time, and you just smile and be nice, you know. It costs nothing. Let's do more of it, people. I think the world will be a better place for it. Let's move on, shall we, to some little gaming things. Now, as you've seen from the title, Twitch is happening for me. I'm still kind of... I haven't done anything on Twitch yet, so far as I've just been prepping, I've been setting things up. And I'm quite excited about it, and the reason I kind of got, because I think Alyssa and a couple of others asked me if I'd ever thought about doing some Twitch streams instead of doing the streams on YouTube, because it's obviously a much sort of crisper environment for that sort of thing. That's its main goal, to do the streaming. So, and I'd always kind of stayed away from it because I always found it really ugly to use, really clunky. Could never find my own channel even if I typed it in to the app. And, you know, it was all seemed to be pointed toward the big people, and if you were a small person getting going, if you type your own bloody name in it, you can't, you know. Anyway, so there's a whole bunch of reasons that I never did it. So when I was watching a girl playing Dark Souls or whatever it was on the stream, I know it was Evil Within, actually, and I could see how she was doing it, I could see the interaction she was having with people, I could see all the little pop-ups that were flying up on screen when a new follower arrived, and you know, someone donated money, all this sort of stuff. And I thought this is actually a really cool way of doing streaming. And so I've spent the last sort of week investigating it and finding out how she gets the little pop-ups to happen, how to make the interaction much crisper and nicer, make people feel special when they do follow and donate, and all these sorts of things. So I've been setting all of that stuff up, and part and parcel of that was going to Argos and getting these units, because I needed this extra, well, a double-sized unit than I had, exactly the same unit but in oak and double the size, so that I could have the laptop right. It's right here. I'm pointing to it. It's right down here, and I have the beanbag right here in front of the couch, and I can basically just do everything I need to from there. Before that, the laptop, if you've seen any of my little shots of in other vlogs of the living room, the laptop was always down near the TV. So I've managed to get little extensions, not too long to affect any of the recording, USB wise, to get from the Elgato capture device and the webcam. And then you've got the microphone, 2 microphones in my case, but mostly I'll be using this one, the Rode microphone. So it's all set up and it's ready to go. I've also been using it's called, well, I investigated how this girl was getting the little things to pop up on screen when people followed and people threw money at her and all this sort of stuff. So I thought that was really, really cool. So I investigated that, and it used to be quite a clumsy thing to do. But these guys had got together, these 2 people that were kind of trying to figure out a way of doing it smoothly, and they've created this thing called Stream Pro. And it effectively just holds your hand through the whole process. You can create it's basically what it is a transparent web page that you put into OBS. So I've been setting up OBS again in order to do the streaming. I'll keep using the Elgato software to do all of my YouTube stuff. So don't worry, YouTube's still going to be happening. This is all aside from it. So the page, yeah, you set up this page on the Stream Pro website. It's like you set up a template effectively, put all your bits on. They give you widgets you can use, and you can colour them in and put backdrops and make them, you know, each element transparent. You can put your own images in, moving GIFs to, you know, funny little icons that pop up. It's really, really, really good. And if anybody's thinking about doing Twitch streaming or any of that sort of stuff, then it's absolutely the direction you should go in. And what a job those guys have done on doing it. It's a little bit, you know, you have to play around with it to find out how it all works, you know, and if you spend a little bit of time with it, you can make it look really great. So I won't spoil you with telling you what I've done, but I've managed to make it look pretty cool when things pop in, and you know, you can test it outside the environment. I haven't actually done a stream yet. So anyway, so here we are. So here's my begging. Here's my request to you people. Now, my Twitch channel is exactly the same name as The Real Steve G. It has been there for a long time now. It's just never been used. I've gone in, I've put all the new branding on it, so it'll look exactly the same. You'll see my little cartoon icon. You'll see the backdrop. If there's no video playing, you'll see The Real Steve G wording and backdrop. And it looks exactly the same, so you can't miss me. And if you are interested in me streaming again and you want to take part in it, I would be so humbled if you could all go over to Twitch and follow me. I currently have 0 Twitch followers, and understandably so, because I have done nothing on it. So if you're interested, I'm going to try and do a number of streams over this break. I am now off work until the 2nd of January, so I am looking to do as much of this sort of gamey type stuff as I can. I haven't quite decided as to when I'm doing the first stream yet, but when I know, I will let you know. And I may even just throw up a cheap video onto YouTube to let folk know, hey, I'm going to do a Twitch stream in blah amount of time. And I am sure you will get, if you do follow me on Twitch, that you will get a notification as well. So I'm really stoked about it. I mean, I'm really chuffed with how I've managed to get all the little pop-ups and stuff working when we're streaming. And the other thing I need to know from you is, I'm hoping by doing it, the main reason I'm doing this is because when I watched the girl doing it, it was really interactive with people. I loved the fact that it was all popping up. She could see immediately that someone had followed, on screen with these pop-ups that I've put on as well, and you know, everyone else can see them following, and you can thank people. I mean, it just was working really well and tightly. It's also a great way for me to try and bring people into the YouTube channel, so I can let people know that I've got a YouTube channel as well. And it's also, I think, a really nice way of me to be able to play other things. Now, I realise that RPG is always going to be my heart, you know, that's the most of the stuff I'm going to want to play more often than not. But I think by twitching, I think maybe I can, you know, inject other types of games in there which perhaps the YouTube channel hasn't been so keen to view. You know, I mean, I would love to do, you know, things like Evil Within and you know, maybe even Resi, stuff like that to some degree. Maybe not full playthroughs, but at least see if people are interested in seeing me playing them. However, I think it is also a good place to maybe pick up where some of the RPGs are so lengthy, like recording them and throwing them up at an hour and a half at a time, it sometimes feels like maybe a stream would just be better. Also, feedback from a stream is great, because if people have played the game before, Dark Souls is a fantastic example. Dark Souls 2, 3 and original. I've got all of those now. I've just got Dark Souls 2 through. I bought it for 10 quid off somebody on eBay. So I've now got Dark Souls 1 on Xbox One X back compat. I've got Dark Souls 2 on the PS4. And I've got Dark Souls 3 on the PS4. So all of those are going to get... I think I'm going to... I mean, I don't know if I'm ever going to platinum these games, people. Probably not. But I don't even know if I'll finish them. I'm going to try. I mean, I'm loving playing Dark Souls at the minute. I've actually been playing... I've done another recording of Dark Souls today, and I'm going to be doing, well, I'll be doing more of that on the channel, obviously carrying on that Let's Play, but I've also been playing off camera when my son came to see me just a number of days ago. He came last Thursday, stayed over to Monday, and we just played Dark Souls 3. I bought it for his birthday ages ago, and it just ended up with me, and we never properly played it, and we got proper stuck into it. You know, we were doing really well, and watching him play it changed my entire, you know, my entire sort of, well, my way of playing it. It just changed my whole outlook on how to play that game. So it was great for me. And you'll see from this next episode I put up where I've gone back to using sword rather than spear, and I'm getting more up close and personal with the enemies, all this sorts of stuff. So I'm hoping that those, like the interaction that can come with Twitch is immediate kind of, no, do this, no, do that. Here's some help, here's some blah, you know, not to the spoiler capacity, but at least some hints as to, you know, maybe this would help, maybe that would help. So I kind of, that's what's missing in doing what I'm doing in YouTube. And I think also YouTube is still slightly limiting in its streaming, so far as I think people still go to Twitch if that's what they want to watch. So I'm hoping that all the people that follow this channel have a Twitch, you know, have some form of watching Twitch. And if you haven't, you can log in with Facebook. You don't have to set up a Twitch account, I don't think. So, you know, you've still got the opportunity to come and watch me. So let me know if it's going to be a massive ball ache for you to watch me on Twitch, because obviously I don't want to lose people because they feel like I'm going over to Twitch and I'm not going to YouTube anymore. I am going to be doing YouTube, it's still going to be my thing. I think what I'm going to do is divide the streaming onto Twitch and keep the Let's Play sort of pre-records on YouTube. I think that's where I'm going to go with it, and I think it makes some kind of sense at the moment. And obviously I don't know, I will I mean, I have every intention of taking a copy of the streams I do on Twitch and putting them on YouTube as well after the event. So you still get to see what happened, you just obviously won't be watching it live. So I'm really stoked about it. So let me know what sort of games you'd like me to throw myself into. I mean, there's an argument that says things like Pillars of Eternity as well might work better on a stream, which I haven't got back to yet, you know, but I'm kind of hoping to mix it up a bit on Twitch rather than be sort of have this confinement to just RPGs. But at the moment, I've got this heavy want to do some Dark Souls on there, and I've got so many games. So let me know what you would like to see me streaming, because, you know, I think to some degree, like watching me walk around Skyrim like never-endingly on a stream time and time again is probably not that exciting for people, you know. So I want to try and at least be playing something that's quite fun to watch, you know. I think if you've got a more linear game like Evil Within or, you know, whatever, it doesn't have to be a horror, but something else might be slightly more interesting for people to get involved with when it comes to a streaming point of view. So let me know what you think in the comments below as to what you might want me to do on the Twitch stream. I'm really stoked for Twitch. I'd really like to give it a good go. Please go over and follow me on the Twitch channel. And if you don't do it right now, or in the coming days, you will of course pop up on screen when it happens, when I do come to you to do my first stream. But it'd be really nice that when I come to do my first stream, that there's a group of people that might be available to come and watch and join in, which I'm really excited about, people. Yeah. So there you are. It's all I have for you for this Christmas. I'm sorry there's no German markets or videos of me wandering around all sorts of places, but it has to some extent been one of those years, and I still started the video with something Christmas. There's nothing more Christmassy than kindness, people, I don't think. Whether you believe in God or whether you don't, Christmas is a nice time of year, and everyone kind of feels good and what have you. There are always those people who feel left out, all those people who feel alone. There's lots of people who don't have much and see everyone else being smiley. So kindness is the one thing that is free, people. It costs nothing at all. And there you are. I will leave it there. There you are. I'm sort of handing out advice to people, and I'm probably as screwed up as the next man, really. But you knew that already, But it's true. You all know it's true. It has been an honour and a privilege serving for you for this whole year, and I cannot thank each and every one of you enough for watching my videos, for giving me tips and advice on how to conquer, whether it be Dragon's Dogma or Dark Souls. And the more feedback I get from you guys, the merrier. I have absolutely loved the communication with you all this year on the channel. It's the one big thing that's changed from the previous years, is that you started talking to me, and I realise a lot of that had to do with the games like Dragon's Dogma and Dark Souls sort of instigate those conversations. But I'm really looking forward to keeping talking to you all, and I hope you keep sending me messages that I can reply to and so on, and get involved with the Twitch with me. Please go and follow me, The Real Steve G on Twitch, and I shall let you know immediately the moment that I'm going to do my first stream. You guys have an amazing Christmas. Go and have many of these, because I never drink on a Friday. It just so happens it's also the last day of work. Cheers to you all. Have a wonderful Christmas. If I don't do another vlog before New Year, have a wonderful New Year as well. I will, though, have done videos and hopefully Twitch streaming by the time that comes around anyway. And I will see you guys soon. Take it easy. Bye.